Hello everyone. Today I would like to elaborate on why I think the tale of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs causes misrepresentation about gender roles for kids. I think the fairy tale of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs is sexist because it leads to misrepresentation of women in the family and the society. I will mention these issues, but before that I want to remind you a tale briefly. Snow White is this beautiful girl whose mother dies. Then her mother is replaced by her evil stepmother. One day, the magic mirror tells the stepmother, Snow White is the most beautiful girl in the world. Then stepmother commands the huntsman to kill her. Fortunately, huntsman does not kill her, and she discovers a cottage with 7 dwarfs in the forest. The queen eventually figures out Snow White is alive, and she gets her to eat poisoned apple. Finally, the prince kisses Snow White and saved her. Then, of course, they get married. Well, this story sounds good for you, but when we analyze in details, we can notice misrepresentations. The first thing I will mention is the misrepresentation of women in the family. In the tale, the dwarfs find Snow White and choose to let her stay in exchange for maid work. Snow White cooks, cleans, sees, and knits for the dwarfs in exchange for their housing and protection. The tale makes it clear that the female brain cannot process anything more complex than household chores, and they always need to be protected by men. However, I think women have the same capabilities as any man has. In other words, women deserve to do anything that men are privileged to do, and of course the same goes for men. Well, Grimm Brothers portrays Snow White as beauty over brain. This brings us to the second point I would like to mention today. In the tale, Snow White is always famous with her beauty. Her stepmother wanted to kill her because of her beauty. Also, the prince marries her on purely the basis of her beauty. I mean, the tale tells us beauty is the only thing that women care about. I find this perception of beauty inappropriate for kids. Well, as you see, all the dwarfs is men, and the role of women is to do household chores, and to these messages are not given directly. But, believe or not, these kinds of stories have significant effect on children to understand gender roles. We shouldn't forget children's huge capacity to learning, and we shouldn't reinforce stereotypes about women in the family and the society.